Here's the handoff. Eckler, he'll try the left side. He breaks through.
Coming up on the RMAC Showcase,
30.
we're at Western State Colorado University in Gunnison, where the football team has its offense rolling. The volleyball team is surprising the rest of the league. The soccer team is hard to beat. And what's it like to climb more than 1,000 feet in less than 3 miles? It's the 65th running of the W Mountain Race.
Let's go, 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 let's go.
And winter sports are gearing up for the season. That's all ahead on the RMAC Showcase. Welcome to the RMAC Showcase, coming to you from Western State Colorado University in Gunnison. We're at the Mountaineer Bowl, built in 1948. It is the highest collegiate football field in the world, sitting at 7,750 feet above sea level. I'm Eric Danner. Western State first started playing football in the RMAC back in 1925. That was the same year Colorado State, the one in Fort Collins, won the RMAC title. Over the years, the Mountaineers have won 19 RMAC football championships. The last one was in 1998. Notable alumni from the football team include some RMAC Hall of Famers. Former UFC interim heavyweight champion Shane Carwin, who was the RMAC Player of the Year as a senior linebacker, and the late Bill Rhodes, who rushed for 327 yards in a single game against Adams State in 1956. That is the fourth best game in conference history. The Mountaineers taking on Adams State for the 69th time in the two schools' histories, and this was a game for the ages. Western State all over the Grizzlies early. Austin Eckler right up the middle. He goes 61 yards for his second touchdown of the quarter. Mountaineers lead 21-0. Second quarter, Brett Aravy to Travis Haney, the senior from Gateway High School, making some nice moves, and that is a 54-yard touchdown. Western leads 35-6 in the second quarter. Then things start to turn for Adams State. Last play of the half, Austin Hillman with the Hail Mary, and it's Chad Hovasi coming down with it. That makes it 42-13 Western, but Adams with momentum heading into the locker room. Second half, all Adams State. Hillman tossing 3 touchdowns and running for another, this one to James Holtrup. Grizzlies rally all the way back. Fourth quarter, Hillman to Holtrup again. We're tied at 42 with 30 seconds to go and head to overtime after exchanging field goals. Adams behind Hillman to Holtrup for a third time, down in front. Grizzlies take a 52-45 lead, and they're going bananas at Rec Stadium. Western State responds. Aravy to Kyle Adkins. It's 52-51, and the Mountaineers go for the win, going for 2. Aravy looking for Eckler, but it falls to the ground. Adams State wins 52-51, erasing a 36-point deficit. That is the largest comeback in the history of Division II. Aravy, 333 yards, 4 touchdowns, while Eckler had 242 and 3 scores in the loss. A few weeks later, Western does get that elusive first win of the season at Black Hill State. Rodray Perkins, running back, a kick 90 yards for a touchdown. He would be the RMAC Special Teams Player of the Week and get the RMAC Top 5 Play of the Week. So Western State looking for win number 2 in a row here at the Mountaineer Bowl against New Mexico Highlands. The Cowboys still in search of their first win of the season under first-year head coach Jeff Mills.
Some brats right here, a couple hamburgers.
On a perfect fall day in Gunnison, the Mountaineers were nearly perfect in this one. First drive of the day, Brett Aravy to Kyle Atkins down the sideline. That is a 33-yard completion. A few plays later, they give it to Adkins on the fly sweep, 7-0 Western. Later in the first, Eckler also going to the right from 6 yards out. Mountaineers lead 14-0. The defense holds Highlands to under 250 yards of offense. That included a sack and a half by Jacob Bernard. He also had 15 tackles. Eckler also having a huge game. The run goes 65 yards, his second touchdown of the day. Eckler moving into second place on Western State's all-time rushing list. Remember, this guy is just a junior. Western up 21-0. Second quarter, Aravy, play fake. Hits Anthony Apodaca. He scoots in. Mountaineers now lead 28-0. But everybody remembers what happened at Adams State. No need to worry, though, on this day. Third quarter, special teams getting in on the act. Gerald Coleman, he did the whip at the RMAC kickoff. Here he does the nay-nay to the end zone. Western State gets their second win of the season, final 56-7.
We've been playing pretty well, last few weeks, and, we've had a lot of close games this year. That's a trend that we've had in the past, but trying to get over that and learn how to finish games, and hopefully we continue the trend and keep going and keep executing and finish the season off the right way.
We will have more on a Western State football coaching legacy in our next segment. The oldest running race in the state of Colorado is right here in Gunnison. It's the W Mountain Race, started in 1951. Here's Connor Putman with more.
Thanks, Eric. The W Mountain Race is run on a course that is just under 3 miles long. It attracts nearly 100 runners, and it finishes at the top of Tenderfoot Mountain that is at an elevation of almost 8,700 feet.
Ready?
Parents, dogs, kids, and even throwers from the Western State track team take on the challenge of one of the toughest races in cross country. Robin Butler is one of the top 800-meter runners in Division II. Wearing a mounted camera, he gives us a view from the runner's perspective. The terrain is tough and the road is dusty. Climbing more than 1,000 feet in less than 3 miles takes your breath away, even for an elite athlete. Butler finishes 18th in a time of 19:41. The men's winner is Tyler Gates, winning in under 17 minutes at 16:57. The women's champ is Natalie Waters. They join an elite group of W Mountain champions, including their head coach, Jennifer Michael, who now organizes the race.
It's important for the tradition of this community to have this event. There's a lot of locals that come out and run it. The history with obviously the athletics through Western State, tying in basketball, skiing, and running. And then it's a fun event. And then a lot of our runners, they know the times. We have freshman records, we have overall records, and so every year we're looking to see where we're at, and so it's a fun event.
Many of the runners are part of the Western State track and cross country teams. But when the race first started 64 years ago, it wasn't that way.
The history of the W race started 1951 with a gentleman named Ed Ally. He was a basketball player, and he wanted something fun in their preseason to kind of do some team building. And they came up here, and I think they rolled a tire off the edge at one point, and they decided they couldn't find it. And so he and a couple of his buddies had measured out a course up to the top of the W, and we have an official road that they were able to use. And then a couple years later, our legendary ski coach, was an Olympic ski coach and a multiple-time Western State NCAA championship coach, Sven Wick, made it a official event for his skiers in the fall, so they could end their fall conditioning before the snow hits in late October.
The view at the top is spectacular, but the runners can't wait to get back down. After this race, a cross-country team was heading to Alamosa for the RMAC Championships. We'll have that on the next RMAC Showcase. Eric?
Thank you, Connor. One of the runners on the Western State cross-country team this year is Ryan Haebe, a former national champion who has had a long road to recovery. Haebe was the NCAA cross-country individual national champion in 2011. In July of 2012, Haebe fell 13 feet from a third floor to a second floor balcony with friends in early morning hours during rainy weather, suffering a traumatic brain injury that left Haebe in a coma and fighting for his life. Now, more than 3 years later, Haebe is back running. Last year, he competed in the RMAC Indoor Track and Field Championships. He is blind in one eye and not to the level he was before the injury, but Haebe is enjoying every minute he's back on the track.
For school, I used to be able to get off with just studying the day of or the night before, and now I kind of have to start studying 2 weeks ahead, and if I don't, then I'm panicked, But so that's definitely, I've had to work a little bit harder for things that used to be, I used to take for granted, and now it's not nearly as easy.
Still ahead on the showcase, 32 million reasons to be excited about Western State. Coming up next, a thriller on the soccer pitch. You are watching the RMAC Showcase.